Parenting can be a roller coaster, especially when your baby is spitting out. How much is too much, and when should you be concerned? If you've ever wondered about your baby's spit up and whether it's normal or something to worry about, this video is for you. I'll dive into this topic and provide you with important things to consider. Many parents worry about their baby's spit up, wondering if it's within the bounds of normal and if it might indicate a bigger issue. I have been in your shoes. With my firstborn, he was what I lovingly called the happy spitter as a baby. That was before I knew better. But he used to spit up after every single feed and multiple times to the point that I was wearing spit up stained clothing even after they had come out of the wash. Oh my goodness. My daughter, on the other hand, rarely spit up at all, and I was baffled by the fact that I could actually wear my regular, somewhat nice clothes and not worry about ruining them. So what was the difference? Well, I asked myself the same thing, and that led me on a path of studying more about reflux, or motor function and dysfunction, and tongue ties. From my own experience as a mama and hearing so many of the mamas that I support worry about how much spit up is normal versus too much, I'm here today to help you understand the difference. I'll clarify what's considered typical spit up, discuss some of the reasons why babies might spit up, and some tips on how to prevent excess spit up as well. Hi, I'm Kylie Etz, and I've been working with babies and children for over 15 years. I'm here to empower you as a mother and provide clarity on baby sleep, development, reflux, and more. Here to help you gain confidence in your motherhood journey and be free from the stress and worries about doing something wrong. Before we dive into the details, make sure to download my free baby reflux symptoms checklist. It's a handy resource that will help you track and understand your baby's symptoms better. You can find the link in the description below. Now, let's dive into what's considered normal when it comes to your baby's spit up. It's important to understand the baseline so that you can differentiate between typical baby behavior and potential issues. So the first thing to look at is that it's occasional in nature. First and foremost, normal spit up is an occasional event. It's not something that happens with every feed, but it does occur from time to time. Next one is effortless spitting. Normal spit up is effortless. Your baby isn't struggling or in discomfort when spitting up. It's simply gentle regurgitation. Number 3, minimal volume. The volume of spit up is typically minimal. It might be a small amount, often described as like a dribble or a posset. This is vastly different from forceful vomiting. Now, I know it might look like a lot of spit up when it's on your shirt or the floor during tummy time, but the amount of liquid your baby spits up isn't as much as you think. Usually it's just 1 or 2 tablespoons at a time. This type of spit up that is occasional in nature, effortless, and minimal volume is actually called reflux, or physiological gastroesophageal reflux, GER, which literally means effortless regurgitation of previously swallowed fluids into the esophagus without complications. This type of spit up is pretty normal for babies around 2 to 3 weeks, and then seems to peak around 4 to 5 months, and typically it goes away by 12 months. So this is often why doctors will say that your baby will outgrow the reflux. So why do babies spit up? Understanding why babies spit up is the first step in determining what's normal. First of all, they have an immature anatomy. Babies are tiny, their stomachs are smaller, their esophagus, the tube that carries the food from the mouth to the stomach, they're shorter. They don't have the same muscle development, right? Their stomachs are more horizontal than adults, their sphincters are not as well developed, and they have weaker muscles and lack the core strength. And really, their digestive systems aren't fully mature either. And so all of that stuff can sort of lead to some of this spit up. The next thing is feeding a little too much. So sometimes babies take in a bit more milk than their tiny stomachs can handle, leading to natural spit up. It's their body's way of saying, I'm full. Combined with a small tummy and a short esophagus, some of that milk simply spills back out through the mouth after a feed. This is likely a protective mechanism if your baby has had too much milk at once. The next one is belly compression. So spit up can also occur when your baby's belly gets compressed. This can happen when you put them into the car seat too soon after feeding, or even when you pick them up too quickly. Overfeeding or fast feeding is next. So whether your baby is bottle or breastfed, overfeeding can lead to more spit up. Babies who drink too much too quickly or consume more than they need may also spit up more and experience pain and discomfort along with this spit up. So preventing excess spit up. While some spit up is normal, there are ways to reduce the chances of it happening excessively. Number 1, Get a latch and tongue function assessment. Having a good latch is so important when it comes to feeding either at the breast or the bottle. If the latch is too shallow, not creating a good enough seal, the baby is chomping instead of sucking, and or the tongue is not doing what it should be doing, then your baby will be drinking in more air, which will lead to more spit up. And I chat more about this in my video, the 4 main causes of reflux. The next thing you can do to prevent this spitting up is watching feeding cues. So learn to recognize your baby's feeding cues for hunger and fullness. This can help prevent overfeeding, especially with bottle feeding. You also want to be mindful of positioning of baby after feeds. Avoid putting your baby in a car seat or picking them up quickly after eating. Allow some time for their food to settle, so some time in that upright position. The next one is pace feeding. If you're bottle feeding, really consider paced bottle feeding techniques to prevent your baby from drinking too quickly or too much. This allows your baby to feed at a slower pace and take breaks to breathe and digest, allowing the milk to flow through the esophagus and into the stomach. So, when to consult a pediatrician or another professional trained in reflux? Understanding normal spit up is crucial, but it's equally important to be aware of when it might indicate a larger issue. Join me next week as I dive deeper into when spitting up or reflux becomes more of a concern. Spit up and reflux is a signal that something might be wrong, and finding the cause is the key to resolving it. I discuss more about reflux specifically in my video on Is My Baby's Reflux Normal?, which I will link below. In summary, understanding your baby's spit up and reflux can alleviate your worries. A certain amount of spit up is normal. However, remember that reflux is a symptom, not a diagnosis. To truly help your baby, focus on finding the underlying cause, which can lead to more peaceful days and nights for both you and your little one. Don't forget to grab your free baby reflux symptoms checklist from the description below. It's a useful tool for tracking your baby's symptoms. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share on your socials and tag me at the Holistic Baby Guru. I'll see you next week for another video.